إلى الله ورجعنا إلى الله تبنا إلى الله ورجعنا إلى الله.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Terlebih dahulu, saya bagi pihak Yayasan IMPAK ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua pihak yang akan menjayakan program kecemerlangan SPM bagi seluruh pelajar-pelajar di negeri Kedah. Yayasan IMPAK di bawah naungan yang teramat mulia Tengku Temenggung Kedah, Tengku Puteri Intan Syafinas akan melaksanakan program bagi membantu pelajar-pelajar yang menghadapi peperiksaan SPM pada tahun ini. Sebagaimana yang kita tahu, akibat daripada pandemik COVID-19, didapati bahawa pelajar-pelajar telah terkendala dalam sesi persekolahan mereka, tidak dapat datang ke sekolah. Sudah tentulah mereka menghadapi masalah bagi persediaan peperiksaan. Oleh itu, Yayasan IMPAK telah melaksanakan satu program melalui online untuk memberikan kemudahan kepada pelajar-pelajar bagi menghadapi peperiksaan pada tahun ini. Di sini saya ingin mengambil kesempatan mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua pihak menjayakan program ini, khususnya kepada Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Kedah, pegawai-pegawai pendidikan daerah, pengetua-pengetua, pasukan daripada guru-guru cemerlang, guru-guru, ibu bapa dan pelajar-pelajar, dan diharapkan program yang dilaksanakan oleh Yayasan IMPAK ini akan mencapai hasratnya bagi memberikan kemudahan kepada pelajar-pelajar menghadapi peperiksaan SPM pada bulan Mac ini. Saya mendoakan agar pelajar-pelajar akan menghadapi peperiksaan ini dengan baik dan didoakan mereka akan mendapat keputusan cemerlang nanti. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Syukur Alhamdulillah kehadrat Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala yang telah mengizinkan Yayasan IMPAK dan Yayasan Sultanah Bahiyah dibantu oleh Majlis Guru-Guru Cemerlang Negeri Kedah untuk melancar program intervensi SPM 2021. Saya mengucapkan setinggi-tinggi tahniah dan terima kasih kepada guru-guru cemerlang yang telah menyediakan bahan-bahan untuk dikongsikan kepada pelajar-pelajar. Mereka dan saya juga yakin bahawa jika pelajar betul-betul mengikuti siaran ini, mereka akan dapat maklumat yang akan memudahkan mereka menjawab soalan-soalan kertas SPM nanti. Kita semua sesungguhnya bergabung tenaga dan usaha untuk membangunkan pelajar agar tidak hanyut dalam gemelut kemunduran. Jangan bergantung kepada takdir semata-mata. Bangunlah anak-anak bangsa Malaysia. Ada tugas besar menanti anda. Masa hadapan mencabar. Kita perlukan pemimpin-pemimpin muda yang berilmu, yang berwibawa. Kemajuan negara tanggungjawab kita bersama. Kita mesti jadi tokoh yang disegani di tanah air dan di pesada antarabangsa. Belajarlah bersungguh-sungguh kerana ilmu adalah kunci kejayaan masa depan anda semua. Wahai pelajar, guru hanya boleh mengajar dan membimbing anda sehingga tamat masa pembelajaran. Yang nak buat pilihan, nak berjaya atau tidak adalah pilihan anda diri sendiri. Jadi jangan anai diri sendiri. Ikutilah program intervensi yang disediakan khusus untuk anda. Akhir kata, saya berdoa agar Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala memberi keteguhan iman, kekuatan minda untuk mengharungi liku-liku perjalanan dan mengurniakan kejayaan kepada anda semua dalam apa jua bidang yang dirempuhi. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat maju jaya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah, segala puji dan syukur dipanjatkan kehadrat Ilahi atas keizinannya dapat kita bertemu secara maya sempena pelancaran program santunan pelajar-pelajar SPM 2021, iaitu program intervensi meningkatkan pencapaian aspirasi kecemerlangan atau sebutan ringkasnya IMPAK. Untuk pengetahuan semua, Yayasan IMPAK telah diperbadankan di bawah Akta Pemegang Amanah Pemerbadanan 1952, Akta 258, Jabatan Perdana Menteri sebagai satu badan bukan kerajaan NGO pada 19 Jun 2019. Penubuhan yayasan ini merupakan satu inisiatif terancang untuk mewujudkan satu wadah kebajikan yang memfokuskan kepada bantuan pendidikan dan amal kebajikan yang berpusat di Seksyen 14 Petaling Jaya, Selangor. Ia direncana supaya dapat memainkan peranan yang seunggul mungkin untuk membantu golongan yang memerlukan, khususnya golongan B40. Dalam aspek pendidikan, bagi memanfaatkan segala bentuk sumbangan dan bantuan kepada yang berhak menerima, pihak Yayasan IMPAK sentiasa turun padang memberikan santunan, dan saya dipahamkan bahawa pihak yayasan telah banyak menyalurkan sumbangan dari segi material dan juga peluang meningkatkan ilmu kepada guru dan murid-murid negeri Kedah sejak beberapa tahun yang lalu. Pada tahun 2021 ini, saya berasa bertuah kerana pihak Yayasan IMPAK sudi menyatuni guru-guru dan murid-murid negeri Kedah melalui program IMPAK yang akan diadakan mulai November ini. Saya juga difahamkan bahawa perancangan dan modul pelaksanaan program IMPAK ini telah mendapat input nasihat dari Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Alimuddin bin Muhammad Dong, penasihat pendidikan Yayasan IMPAK, di samping pengembangan input pengetahuan dan pengalaman beberapa ahli-ahli profesional lain di bidang pendidikan dan teknologi untuk membantu perancangan dan pelaksanaan program. Program IMPAK yang bakal dilaksanakan ini berhasrat untuk membantu para guru negeri Kedah mendepani cabaran persediaan murid untuk menduduki SPM 2021 yang terkesan akibat pandemik. Pelbagai solusi telah disusuri seperti sesi ulang kaji dan latih tubi yang dikendalikan oleh guru-guru cemerlang dan berimpak tinggi secara bersiri melalui platform Mesra Pelajar yang dilengkapi dengan nota-nota ringkas serta video pembelajaran yang menarik di mana peningkatan prestasi murid sepanjang program ini juga akan dipantau secara berterusan di mana kesemuanya dilakukan hanya dalam talian. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan warga pendidik yang dimuliakan, sebelum mengundur diri, saya ingin mengambil kesempatan ini untuk memetik kata-kata Imam Al-Ghazali, yakni, bersungguh-sungguhlah engkau dalam menuntut ilmu. Jauhilah kemalasan dan kebosanan, kerana jika tidak demikian,
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to everyone. I hope all of you can hear me very well. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Amma ba'd. Alright, again, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to all of you students from wherever you are. Okay, if you're here, I hope we can sort of say hi or tell me where you're from, and hopefully I'm not here alone. If you're not here, it's okay. You can still watch the recording, alright, in the YouTube or Facebook channel from Yayasan IMPAK. Okay, and hopefully you can also see my slide here. Alright. Okay, good. Everyone's here. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Again. Alright. So what are we going to do now? I am the final presenter for Yayasan IMPAK Tuition Part 2. Bahagian 2. Part 2. Meaning after this we are moving on to Part 3. Tanya apa sahaja for 2 hours every Saturday. InsyaAllah. Okay. Alright. So just to recap what you are going to face for your SPM papers starting from next month. Okay, paper 1, paper 2, 3, 4, ujian pemahaman, ujian penulisan, bertutur mendengar, reading, and use of English, writing, speaking, and listening. Alright, I believe and I hope all of you know this. Alright. Okay, So for the first slot, we have heard from our Sifu, all right, the president of Delta Kedah, right, Mr. Zanurin. And then you've heard from Madam Aiman, Madam Sabjid, Madam Sahara for listening. And the last one is from Mr. Shafiq from SMA Shadia on writing. So what am I going to do now? All right. So before that, allow me to introduce myself again and where I am from. I am from Sekolah Menengah Agama Fauzi Yan Kedah in a rural area. Even though it is called Pekan Bandar, but actually for me it is a rural area. And these are my students, Form 5 students from Sekolah Menengah Agama Fauzi. They are very crazy, intelligent, and nice. All right, a bunch of students, and I believe you all are in the eyes of your own teachers and me also. All right, so what I am going to do now is SPM 1119 paper 1, reading and use of English. Reading, baca. Macam mana nak baca pula dalam SPM? Baca in terms of you read and you answer questions. Baca dan jawab soalan. No need to have reading aloud session. Tak perlu baca kuat-kuat pun. Alright, and use of English, penggunaan bahasa Inggeris. Again, I know you know this, but just let me recap for you before I continue with the limited time I have. Okay, usually I did this for 2 hours, but I have to cram everything in 1 hour, and maybe I will skip something. My focus is, of course, for part 4, get text. Okay, because most of the pupils have a hard time in knowing the tips to answer part 4, which is actually easy. Okay, but how to make it easy? Okay, let's look at it. All right, so these are my references. Okay, I did not just sit back, lie down, okay, pray to Allah, ya Allah, bagilah wahyu nak buat apa hari ni. No, okay, these are my references. And of course, my references is the OTAI, the senior teachers, it is expert. For example, the principal of SMK Tamaria Jaya, you can look up to her. The experts such as the JU, Jurulatih Utama PKW, alright, for example, Madam Kusrati Batu 17, Mr. Nizam, Madam Faizah from Pekan Gurun, Mr. Andrew from Pinang Tunggal, Mr. Ashraf from SMK Agama Yan, and lots more. They are very, very talented. They are experts in this field, especially regarding to English and CFR. Right, so there are many of them. If I name all of them, I will not have enough time to at least give something for you for your SPM 2021-2022. Macam bola. 2021-2022 SPM. Okay, special. Okay, move on to the first primary tips for paper 1. What do you need? Apa yang kita perlu? Alright? You must have the proficiency and preparation. Macam senang, simple. Allah, tips apa tu? It is easy if you have the proficiency. What is proficiency? Kefasihan. The level of proficiency, apa yang kamu tahu, apa yang kamu ada, pengetahuan kamu ada, penggunaan kamu about English, bahasa Inggeris, which we know is bahasa kedua or bahasa asing in Malaysia. Alright, so how to gain the proficiency level? You must have the preparation. You have to prepare. For paper 2, paper 3, you will be given, you should have the template to prepare for it. Alright, to maybe to understand and remember and then to use it again and again. But for paper 1 and paper 4, you don't have any template to prepare actually. Alright, so it depends on your proficiency level, kefasihan. If you don't understand, for example, how are you? My name is Imran. You don't have the proficiency to understand the question, how are you? And answer it by, I'm okay, fine. But you answered, I am Imran. Okay, what is your name? I just eat nasi lemak. Okay, because it is something that you have to practice, you have to nurture in yourself, sama ada seorang-seorang, or with your friends, or with your teachers. Okay, remember, proficiency and preparation is very, very important for paper 1. Okay, I hope my voice is clear. If it's not clear, please inform me, yeah? Okay, next tip, please prepare for the topics. Okay, you have been seeing this from Mr. Zanurin, from last week's Mr. Shafiq. Alright, so what about it? Topics, everything will come from your syllabus. The the vocabulary, the grammatical items will come from your syllabus, probably since Form 3 until Form 4. Actually, since your Form 1. Okay, your class book. Okay, this one is close up, full blast, and English download. For Form 1, Form 2 is Pulse to textbook. All right. So what do I mean by everything is in your textbook? For example, let's look at your Form 5 textbooks. Everything is there. All right, the text, the grammatical items, the practices, the vocabulary, everything is in your textbook. Okay, read them, practice with them. You have, for example, in your Form 5 textbook, every unit you have vocabulary and grammatical item questions. So use them. And then you have your test book, you have your workbook. Ask, okay, from your awesome teachers. Okay. Again, please remember your syllabus, remember the topic that may be asked in your paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and paper 4. Okay, especially for today's topic, paper 1. Okay, let's move to part 1, which is 3 option multiple choice question. Alright, multiple choice question meaning 3 pilihan. Ada 3 pilihan kat situ. Tak banyak pun, 3 aja. Okay. So, you must know the purpose of each question. Tujuan setiap soalan untuk dalam part 1, bahagian 1. Kenapa nak tahu tujuan? Because you have to know what you need to do. You need to skim the text, baca laju. Or you need to scan the text for information. Alright, so the first one is, it must, it will, it should ask you to understand the main points in the text. Main point, main idea, idea utama dalam petikan, dalam teks, dalam stimulus. Alright, it may ask you for specific details and information, maklumat yang khusus, maklumat yang tertentu, meaning you have to scan the text, you have to read the text, you have to find the specific information and find it whether it is in your answer options. Alright. It can also ask you to guess the meaning of unfamiliar words from clues and provided by other words and by context. And please remember, it should not be unfamiliar if you remember, if you have read everything in your textbook, because again, everything should come from your syllabus or from your textbooks. Okay, so remember, 3 parts, 3 things, 3 purposes. Main points, specific details and information, and guess the meaning of the word vocabulary. Alright, so let's look at some of the questions, okay, given by Lembaga Perpisahan Malaysia. Alright, so what is the purpose? What is the purpose of the advertisement? So basically, this question is asking for what? Tanya pasal apa? Antara 3 tadi, main points, specific details and information, and meaning ataupun vocabulary. What does the question want? Soalan nak apa? Alright. So what does the question want? Look at the question. The purpose. Tujuan. Okay, bila tujuan, it wants the main point. Main idea. Idea utama. Alright. Idea utama di dalam petikan tersebut. Alright. So you have to look for the purpose, tujuan. And then tengoklah pilihan jawapan. Look at the answer options and choose which one is the correct one by reading the whole text. Okay, again, proficiency level come into function here. If you do not understand the text, it is hard for you to really choose the correct answer. If you don't have the proficiency level, you will not be answering question. Actually, you're actually playing PUBG. No PUBG? Okay, tembak. Tembak je apa A, B, C. Sebab tak tahu, you do not understand, kamu tak faham. So please, while you still have time, please practice, please read, please ask your friends or your teachers. Alright, again, first, purpose, main point. Purpose, main point. So when you know it is asking for the main points, meaning you have to read the whole text, you have to read the answer options and choose the best one. Okay. Alright, next is specific details and information. Contoh soalan. Which statement is true? Yang mana betul? Alright, so you have to look for the specific details and information. For example, A, job vacancies, various location. Betul ke? Okay, kita tengok, we scan, we look for the specific info. We are now opening in Yan. Only one place, satu tempat sahaja. So meaning location ada S. Banyak. So A is wrong. Alright. What about B? Fresh graduates can apply for the position. Okay. If you look at this one, 2 years retail experience. If you don't have the proficiency level to understand retail, it's okay. 2 years experience. I believe you know what experience is. Pengalaman. So pengalaman selama 2 tahun. Fresh graduates can apply. No, you must have minimum of 2 years experience. Kamu scan. You scan for the specific details. You scan for the specific information. Maklumat khusus. What about C? The company will open more branches. Expand right across Malaysia. So you find the specific info there. So now you know the answer is C. Okay, so now you know the answer is C. Alright, so hopefully you understand the purpose of the question in part 1 so that you can prepare yourself again. I know you have done this with your teachers or with your friends, but please remember you need to practice. Okay. Alright, do you have any more question? If you have any question, please feel free to ask, okay, in the comment section on the chat section. Alright, so for part 2 now, moving on to part 2, again, I have to move quickly through the parts because I only have 1 hour now. I only have 45 minutes. Okay, so for part 2 of the paper 1, reading, okay, the reading paper, reading and use of English paper. Part 2, what is part 2? To test lexico-grammatical knowledge. To test the lexico-grammatical knowledge. What is lexico-grammatical knowledge? Okay, you know what grammar is. Okay, grammar tahu apa dia. Lexico is words, perkataan. Nak bagi mudah faham lah. Grammar and words. Vocab and grammar. Yang mana setiap unit ada. Setiap unit mesti ada soalan vocab, mesti ada soalan grammar. To consolidate, mengukuhkan lagi apa yang kamu belajar di setiap unit. What you learn in every unit of your textbook since your form 1 actually. Okay. Alright, next. These are the questions given by Lembaga Persatuan Malaysia. Okay, so these will be the types of question asked, okay, in your part 2. Right, for example, look at 0. This one is grammatical items in, of, at, from, preposition. Alright, it may ask for number, for example, number 9. Right, linking words or connectors or conjunctions. Alright, or for number 10, vocabulary, perkataan yang lebih kurang sama maksud or function. Okay, similar function, similar meaning, probably almost similar meaning and function. Right, number 10, number 11, number 12. So there are 10 questions. Ada 10 soalan. There are 10 questions, 10 soalan on grammar and vocabulary. For your entire paper, 4 papers, there will be 10 question minimum lah. Alright, so what do you need to study for this? If you look at this one, wow, mind-blowing. You have been studying very, very apa ni kita panggil ni? Alright, very specific information on grammatical items since you were in form 1. Nak study semua ni, you want to focus on all of this one by one, day by day, hours by hours? No. Okay, so what can you do now? Because you only have 1 month left for your SPM paper, what can you do? You can do this with your friends. If you don't have any friends, now is the time to make friends. Okay, you can also do this with your brothers and sisters or your teachers. Okay, but please try to find your own friends to do this. Okay, what can you do? Select 3 or 4 texts from your textbook. Remember, every unit of your textbook should have text. Okay, in your workbook, in your textbook, alright, you can find all the text that you want, and then make your own gaps. Buat tempat kosong sendiri. Macam mana buat tempat kosong tu? Okay, I will show you an example. And write options. Tulis pilihan jawapan. Swap, bukan swap jalur hidung tu. Swap, tukar sama kawan-kawan, and complete, and then discuss, bincang, and of course, please confirm the answers, the reason with your teachers. Okay, contoh, for example. Alright. From your Form 5 English textbook, download B1 Plus, page 64. Okay, for example, kita ambil Mi'raj and Adibah. Okay, dia ambil satu, Adibah took one text and Mi'raj took one, take one text from the textbook, different pages of course. Okay, and then what do you need to do? Choose any of the words that you want. You try to do not highlight on the textbook nah. It's not yours. Except if you buy the textbook yourself. Alright, you can photostat it, okay, you can scan it, you can take a picture, and then please just highlight the words, cover up some of the words after you have read them. Alright, okay, tengok tu. Okay, disappear, everything disappear, now disappear. Okay, and then what do you need to do? Lepas tu kena buat apa? Okay, for example, Adibah, you give answer options. Okay, some options of answers and distractors. Okay, jawapan sebenar dan juga jawapan yang mengalihkan perhatian daripada jawapan yang sebenar. For example, this one for A, B, C, focusing on grammar. Decompose, decomposes, decompose, ed. Okay, so and then when you prepare everything for the last one, for example, for, in, without, and then you swap with your friend, and then your friend try to answer them. Kawan pula jawab. Lepas dah jawab, you discuss, bincang pula jawapan. Jangan terus tengok jawapan, bincang pula. Okay, so for example, Adibah dah bagi yang ni kat Miraj dah jawab, and then Miraj ask, okay, is this correct? And then Adibah will try with all her might. Okay, cuba. Okay, I think the answer for number 1 is, for example, decompose. Okay, apa beza dia? Ada ada S, ada D. So which one? How do you know? Macam mana tahu? Okay, jawapan dia of course decompose. How do you know? Macam mana tahu jawapan dia decompose A, bukannya S, bukannya D? Okay, tengok. Oh, alright. If you still remember, does not. Okay, my teacher have taught me. Does not. After do, does, this. Okay, akan jadi root word. Kata dasar. Okay, that's how you remember. Okay, so if you cannot remember, ask your friend who can, or confirm, or ask your teachers. Okay, kalau tak tahu, jangan buat kepala tahu. Jangan buat sorang-sorang. Do not confirm it by yourself. Dah, confirm ni jawapan dah. Yes, tahu dah sebab apa ada S. If it is wrong, kamu bawa lah mazhab yang salah tu sampailah SPM. So please do this and then reconfirm at least with your teachers. Okay, so same thing. For, in, without. Alright, the world will be a much better place for them. Grammatically betul for them. Okay, grammar for them tu betul. Tapi adakah ayat ni sesuai dengan perkataan for them? Okay, and then kamu tengok, oh, without maksud dia tanpa. The world will be a much better place without them. Them merujuk kepada apa? Plastic bags. Okay, and then you recheck your answers. Okay, tengok balik. Buka balik highlight tu. Buka balik textbook. Okay, oh, tu jawapan dia. Yes, ini sebab dia. For maksud dia apa? In maksud dia apa? Do not be shy to use dictionary. Do not be shy to use Google to find the meanings. As long as you are not doing it during your real SPM paper, do not be shy. Try to gain as much information as you can. Okay? Alright. So for vocabulary, what can you do to guess the meaning of an unknown word? Macam mana nak guess tadi? Okay, macam mana nak teka? Alright, always look for clues in the context, dalam konteks ayat. You can look at the words before, you can look at the words after ayat, ataupun perkataan sebelum dan perkataan selepas, or previous and following sentence, ayat sebelum ataupun ayat selepas. You can also look for clues in the word itself, dalam perkataan tu sendiri. Okay, see if it is similar to any other words that you know. Mudah kata, kalau kamu tahu perkataan dasar dia, ataupun kamu tahu perkataan yang ada imbuhan dia, tengok adakah tu maksudnya. Even though English, there are some words add something and then totally different meaning. Okay, with, dengan, out, keluar. Without, jadi menaling. Without, tanpa. With, dengan, out, keluar. Dengan, keluar. Tapi sebenarnya, bila sekalikan, without, tanpa. Okay, so be careful and again, please reconfirm with your teachers. for everything that you have done. Okay. Now for part 3, alright, already 20 minutes. Alright, for part 3 now. 4 option, multiple choice question. 4 option, multiple choice question. Actually, it is the same as part 1, bahagian 1. Dia lebih kurang sama macam bahagian 1, cuma there are 3 options. And then, of course, the text is longer. Text dia lebih panjang. Okay, so there are 8 items, 1 extended text. Macam for part 1, you have different stimulus, different short text. So this one extended text yang teks yang panjang, or extract from novel, magazine, news, report, article, and then you answer all of the questions are related to that one text, berkaitan dengan satu teks tersebut. Okay. Again, be familiar, know, understand what the question wants. Apa yang soalan nak. Alright, the question will ask for the main idea. Tadi main idea, main point, same thing. Guessing the meaning of the word, vocabulary, specific details and information. And one of the question may ask the opinion of the writer, the attitude of the writer. Apa mood writer pada masa tu? Apa pendapat penulis teks tersebut pada masa tu. Alright, so be familiar. You have to know why, because you are going to use the skills of skimming or scanning. Skimming again, skimming baca the whole text, looking for information, or scan, tengok based on the clues, berdasarkan clue yang ada dalam soalan. Alright, tip number 2. This is what I did with my students. Okay, some successfully done this. Okay, ada juga yang kurang berjaya. Why? Kenapa? Sebab tak ada proficiency level yang mencukupi. But alhamdulillah dan insya-Allah, alright, with practice dengan latihan, practices dengan latihan-latihan, insya-Allah they will get this. Alright, so what do you need to do? Of course, for those with high proficiency level, tengok aja, pak, settle, dapat jawapan. Alright, but for those with medium proficiency level, please, you have to try to answer in your own words first before you are distracted by seeing the answer option. Maksud dia, jawab sendiri dulu, jangan tengok pilihan jawapan. Okay, once you think you know the answer, agak-agak tahu jawapan dia apa, look at the option. If you see the answer that you anticipated, kalau nampak jawapan yang dijangka, apa lagi? Bulat. Okay, and then jangan, do not be overconfident. Check the text. Check balik text tersebut to be sure that is the correct answer. If that is the correct answer, okay, good. Congratulations. Kamu dapat jawapan yang betul. You can be proud of yourself. Okay. Okay, tengok. Next tip number 3. Try to eliminate. Okay, tolonglah buang. Tolonglah delete. Tolonglah tembak secara berilmiah. Please choose, pilih dengan knowledge. Choose with knowledge. Pilih dengan ilmu, pengetahuan di dada kamu atau di fikiran kamu. Do not simply fire everything. Jangan tembak saja. Alright, try to eliminate. Kalau tak dapat juga jawapan, tulis direct. Try to eliminate the answer option that are clearly wrong or that you think is wrong. Alright, sometimes, okay, ini kadang-kadang, sometimes, probably, doalah, kotlah masuk dari SPM macam ni. Sometimes, these are often options that include, yang termasuklah, negative words, such as no one, never. Kalau ada no one, never itu, probably, mungkin they are incorrect. Why? Because they are extreme, terlalu ekstrim sangat. Okay, ada jawapan yang bukannya umum, terlalu ekstrim. No one, tak ada siapa lah pernah berletak kat dunia ni. Itu terlalu over, terlalu ekstrim. Alright, and usually incorrect with regards to the text. Okay, for example, which options down below may be wrong? Okay, tengok no one. Okay, A may be wrong. Okay, e-books will never replace print books. Electronic books takkan sesekali replace menggantikan buku yang diprintkan, buku yang kertas lah tu. Okay, confidence sangat-sangat. So very extreme. Alright, they have a lot of positive points. They have better prices than e-books. So from here, kamu dah boleh eliminate A, you can eliminate B. At least daripada 4, tinggallah 2 saja pilihan nak Bukan nak tembak lah. You choose, okay, correctly. Alright, remember, try to answer it by yourself first. Jawab sendiri dulu without looking at the answer options. And try to eliminate the answers that are clearly wrong or you think may be wrong, yang mungkin salah. Okay, but do not be too overconfident. Do not simply overrule everything. Rule out, okay, this is salah. Tak mau tengok dah, nak tengok yang kamu rasa betul je. No. Okay, you have to recheck. You have to recheck with the text. Alright. Tip number 4. Sometimes one of the questions in the multiple choice task requires that you understand the text as a whole. Now, kena faham keseluruhan teks. Maybe kena faham keseluruhan perenggan. Okay. Again, depending on the question. Okay, it could ask the purpose of the text. Macam tadi, satu petikan pendek. Tujuan petikan tersebut. Tak apa, senang. Tapi kalau 5 perenggan, 6 perenggan. Okay, so you have to understand the text. You have to read all of the text. Alright, it may ask why the certain topics are discussed, why certain examples are provided. So for this question, you really need to skim the text. You really need to read the whole text or the whole paragraph if needed. Okay, so please, proficiency level, very important. Practice using your textbook, using your textbook, using your workbook. It's very, very important. Alright, insyaAllah, everything that will come out in your SPM paper will be from your textbook or your syllabus. Okay. Okay, so read each question carefully. Bacalah soalan dengan berhati-hati. Underline, highlight, rajinkan diri untuk tidak biarkan kertas anda suci sesuci debu. Jangan. Please try to highlight what you think is the clues. Okay, is the clue of the question. Alright. To get an idea of what you are looking for, and underline the section in the text where the answer is found. Underline the evidence. Okay, bila kamu gariskan, taklah teraba-raba nak cari balik. Okay, and then you can recheck again and again. Confirm balik. Mana tahu dah habis jawab semua, nak patah balik itu, masa tu pak datang wahyu. Pak datang ilmu baru konon-kononnya lah. Okay, then you will know. Okay, rasa macam salah ni. Okay, then you can, if you still have time, change your answer. But do not be too underconfident. Jangan terlalu was-was pula. Semua jawapan tukar. Habis. Alright. When the question refers to the whole text, avoid options which are true. Kenapa dia kata elakkan pilihan yang betul? Okay, tapi betul, but refer only to part of the text. Okay, dia betul. Memang ada dalam teks, tapi hanya sebahagian kecil sahaja. Kalau dia kata apa tujuan teks tersebut, kena ambil yang secara umum. Umum tentang teks tersebut. Okay, again, make sure eliminate the wrong options and avoid options which sound logical but are not mentioned in the text. For example, benda yang logik lah. Right? Cow eats grass. Makan rumput. Benda tu logik. Tapi tak ada dalam teks. Dalam teks ada cow eats, for example, wheat. Makan gandum. Okay. So, ada pilihan wheat, grass. Ini simple sangatlah. Tak soalan SPM macam ni. Nak abang bagi kamu faham. Mudah faham. Okay, it sounds logical. It may be true in real life. Tapi tak ada dalam teks. When it is not in the text, do not simply pick or choose the answer. Okay. Alright. Half an hour. So let's try it. Okay, so this one can be found in your Form 4 textbook. Form 4 textbook. Alright, what's the main message of the first paragraph? What is the main message of the first paragraph? A, the food. You cannot answer this on your own lah kan. Of course, ada tips tadi. Try jawab sendiri dulu. Of course, you cannot do that because you have to read the whole paragraph first. Okay, so some tip works for different questions. There are some questions that need maybe 2 or 3 tips. Okay, 2 or 3 methods to find the correct answer. So the food was awful. Makanan tu teruk, makanan tu tak sedap, makanan tu wet. Okay, tengok kat sini, ada tak bukti? Okay, ada tak bukti pasal makanan yang teruk? Ada. Apa dia? Okay, watery, tasteless soup. Dahlah, sup memang berair. Tapi ni berair, lagi berair daripada sup yang selalu kita makan. Tak rasa apa. Tasteless, tak rasa apa. Okay, tawak, hebiak. Tawak. Orang Kedah kata tawak, hebiak. Alright, tasteless soup. Betul, the food was awful. Ada dalam teks, ada jawapan dia. Tapi adakah itu main message? Adakah itu message utama in the first paragraph? Okay, tak tahu lagi. Tengok. B. The children needed new clothes. The children needed new clothes. Memerlukan pakaian-pakaian baru. Betul ke tak? Okay, dress in. Dress, pakaian walaupun tak ada dalam jawapan. Dress in filthy rags. Maybe kamu tak tahu filthy itu apa. Very dirty. Rags adalah pakaian yang buruk. Kain buruk. Duduk dalam kain buruk. Okay. So, is it correct? Adakah betul? Adakah dia beritahu kita the children needed new clothes, perlukan pakaian baru? No, tak menyatakan begitu. Walaupun mungkin mereka perlu makanan baru, pakaian baru because they are wearing rags. Pakai baju buruk. Okay. C. The children didn't get enough food. Nampak kat sini the word hungry. Grumbling, empty, little stomach. Skinny. Okay. And then dapat pula soup. Special occasion maybe dapat tiny piece of bread. One bowl of soup. So there are a lot of clues there that shows the children didn't get enough food. Okay, you may know hungry. You may not know starving. So starving is very hungry. Okay, when you practice, alhamdulillah, you will know and then you will be able to answer this question. So again, guys, there are a lot of clues here for C. Okay, so D, the children look forward to special occasion. Nampak ada perkataan special occasion to distract you. Oh, dalam teks ada special occasion. Okay, if you want to tembak, ambil lah D sebab apa ada dalam teks. Then you are wrong. Okay, so you can eliminate D. So the answer is C. Okay, so the clues are there. You have to skim the text. You have to read the text. Okay, masa tak cukup, so kita pergi kepada this one lah. Okay, this one. Alright, the bowls didn't need cleaning. Tak perlu dibasuh, tak perlu dibersihkan selepas after the children finish eating because the soup tasted good. Of course, you know from paragraph 1, the soup tak sedap, tawak, hebiak, watery, tasteless soup. Okay, tak perlu dibersihkan. Ada perkataan tak perlu dibersihkan. Clean. Kat sini ada. The bowls never needed cleaning. Because of this. Sebabkan ini. Sebabkan apa? Tengok ayat sebelum. The boys lick bowls, spoons and fingers and search busily for a splash that they hadn't noticed. They lick the bowls. Ada tak lick? Tak ada. Tak ada lick dalam ni. Okay, tapi of course, lick is the same as clean something, everything with their tongue. Because I believe no one in the world lick using something else other than your tongue. Tak siapa lagi yang jilat sesuatu menggunakan selain daripada lidah. Okay, so you know, clean something, clean everything with their tongues means lick. Okay, so why the bowls didn't need cleaning? Because the boys lick the bowls. Because the children clean everything with their tongue. So you can see that the answer is alright. So this one, specific information. Look for the specific information in the text. Right? Okay, now let's look for the question that asks for vocabulary. Alright, this one. Okay, let's look at number 5. What does ladle mean? What does ladle mean? Okay, maybe kita tak tahu ladle tu apa, tak pernah dengar. Selalu guna, tapi tak pernah dengar. So, what does ladle mean? Try to guess. A, pot, hand, voice, spoon. Macam biasa, gantikan perkataan ladle in the text with pot, hand, voice and spoon. So, kat sini, he raised his ladle high. Okay, raise, angkat. Dia angkat apa benda dia punya ladle tu tinggi. Boleh ganti dengan pot dah. He raised his pot. Dia angkat dia punya pot. Periuk tu tinggi. Boleh. He raised his hand. Boleh. He raised his voice. Tinggikan suara. Boleh. He raised his spoon. Boleh. Okay. So far, semua boleh. Not to serve more soup. Bukan untuk serve bukan untuk hidangkan sup. Pot boleh hidang sup, tak pernah lagi dalam kedai kita order makanan, dia buat mai periuk, tuang kat pinggan kita. No, tak pernah lagi. Hand, menggunakan tangan, dalam tapak tangan. Okey, hidangkan sup. Tak pernah lagi. Kita tengok diri sendiri, wallahualam. Voice, menggunakan suara untuk menghidang sup. No, of course not. Spoon, sudu. Alright. For us, maybe spoon yang kecil itu. Spoon yang kecil itu. Tapi yang besar pun kita panggil spoon sebenarnya. Big spoon. Alright. Tak apa. Tengok lagi. Ayat yang sama. Alright. To hit poor Oliver violently on the head. Untuk pukul kepala Oliver. Alright. Pot boleh guna pot untuk pukul. Hand boleh. Pukul guna suara. Tak boleh. So spoon boleh. So far 3 out of 3. Boleh 3-3 ni. Angkat untuk serve soup dan juga untuk memukul Oliver di kepalanya. Spoon. So ladle means spoon. Okay, so you learn new vocabulary when you are in form 4. Ladle means spoon, a big spoon. Okay, sudu yang besar ataupun senduk. Okay. Alright, so this one is how you try to guess kalau kamu tak tahu. For those who know, settle, simple. Tengok dah, what does ladle mean? D, spoon. Alright, so for those who is less proficient, so you need to try the tips. So you need to try to guess based on the context. Okay, insyaAllah, all of you can do it. Don't worry, I believe in all of you. Okay. Now let's move on to part number 4, gap text. Alright, gap text. So, what is gap text? Kamu tahu gap text itu maksudnya petikan punya panjang and then dibuang satu ayat. Dibuang satu ayat, dibuang satu ayat. Okay, so basically it is what you have been doing actually since, I believe, since you're in standard 1. If not, maybe when you are in your PSR years. Alright, so you have to know first, what does the gap text test you on? Test candidates, kamulah, candidates, understanding of the structure, struktur, and coherence of text. Struktur ayat and coherence, kesinambungan. Okay, antara the link between sentences in the text, dalam teks tersebut. Ini tujuan dia. Okay, so apa benda ni? Word, phrase, clause, sentence. You know this one. Mereka buang satu ayat. But actually, it comes from what you have been doing previously. Iaitu dia buang perkataan isi tempat kosong. Kamu tahu kan? Isi tempat kosong. Yang tu je sebenarnya. Okay, cuma isi tempat kosong dengan perkataan. Fill in the blanks with phrase. Ataupun what you are doing right now is isi tempat kosong with sentences dengan ayat. Okay, kita tengok sikit-sikit dulu. Word, phrase, clause and sentence. Alright, for example, for word. Tengok kat sini pilihan jawapan. We, teenagers, women, you. Clue dia sebenarnya sama je. Cuma bila kita buang satu ayat, tak ada ayat tu pun rasa macam logik. But there are actually clues in the sentences before, after, and in the answer options itself. Alright. So for example, this one, kalau buang satu perkataan je, I think it's easy for you guys. So in the past, who stayed at home? We stayed at home, logic boleh pun, grammatically correct. Teenagers stay at home, boleh. Women stay at home, boleh. You stay at home, boleh. Alright, tengok pula clue selepas itu. Did all of the household chores, buat tugasan rumah, while men went out to work. Sementara lelaki pergi bekerja. So boleh tak we stay at home, kami stay kat rumah. Sementara wanita duduk ke rumah, sementara lelaki pergi bekerja. Betul? Wanita. Kami duduk kat rumah. Kita duduk kat rumah semasa lelaki pergi kerja. Untuk perempuan, yes. Jawapan tu betul. Tapi untuk lelaki, kita duduk rumah sementara lelaki pergi kerja. Aku bukan lelaki ke? Tak kena. So, we is wrong. Okay. So, now, setakat ni woman betul. Tengok, teenager stay at home sementara lelaki pergi kerja. Tak kena. You stay at home sementara lelaki pergi kerja. No, tak kena. So, the answer is women. Alright. So, settle dah. Dah settle woman. Pilihan tinggal lagi 3. Tinggal 3 je. Daripada 4 tinggal 3. So, sebenarnya daripada 8 tinggal lagi 7. Okay. Ada 6 tempat kosong. Alright. Next. Despite this change, many believe. Siapa yang believe that their parents and more particularly their mothers. Okay, siapa? Many we believe. Salah dah. Many we believe. Salah dah. Okay, boleh buang dah we. Many you believe that their parents. Salah dah. So many teenagers. Terus dapat. The answer is C. Many teenagers. Okay. Next. Pilihan tinggal we dengan you. Or do apa help out. Siapa help out? We help out. Betul. You help out. Betul. Then look for the clues in the previous sentence. Tengok ayat sebelum. Are you one of those teens? Kata you, tak boleh guna we dah lah. So yang lebih tepat adalah do you help out? Are you one of those teens or do you help out? Yang tu kalau dia buang word. Tapi how you find the answers is actually the same tips, the same method for you to find the gap text, the sentence, ayat yang dibuang tu. Right? Apa tadi kita buat tadi? We look at the words, we look at the sentences before and after, we look at the answer options themselves. Okay. Contoh kalau ini phrases. Kita tak boleh ikut kepada phrases sedih. Right. Women stay at home and did all of the household chores while men to work. While men went out to work. While men help everyone to work. Bantu semua orang pergi kerja. No. While men help out to work. No. While men successful careers to work. No. Tengok dah. Answer option sendiri tak kena. A, B, C. So the answer is D. Bila the answer is D, tinggal lagi 3 lagi pilihan. Women have jobs and apa? Women have jobs and help everyone. Women have jobs and help out living them. Tak kena. So women have jobs and successful careers. Dapat dah A. Okay. So these are the things that you do. You look at the answer option. You look at the sentence, the words before and after. Okay, for you to find the meaning. For you to find the correct answer. Okay, kita tengok contoh. This one is clause. Alright. Kita tengok ni. Despite this change, walaupun ada perubahan sedemikian rupa, many teenagers believe that their parents are the only ones who should pick up. So, same thing here. Kalau tak ada ni pun betul lah ayat tu. Many teenagers believe that their parents are the only ones who should pick up, tidy, wash, clean and clear. Teenagers believe. They really do believe that their parents should clean everything, should do the chores. Betul dah. But, again, still, you have to find the correct, this one, clause, the correct sentences, the correct words, or the correct phrases. So here, leaving them with little time to deal with the large number of tasks. Their parents, leaving them little time. Many teenagers believe that their parents, leaving them little time, menyebabkan mereka ada kurang masa untuk buat kerja rumah. No? Okay, macam tak kena. Many teenagers believe that their parents, when teenagers help their parents, are the only ones. Tak kena. Many teenagers believe that their parents, and more particularly their mothers, okay, their parents, bila parents, mak dan ayah, terutamanya mak mereka, the only ones yang kena buat kerja rumah. Okay, so far C macam kena. Alright. Their parents, while men, many teenagers believe that their parents, while men went out to work, are the only ones. Mak ayah mereka, semasa lelaki pergi kerja, adalah yang patut buat. Okay, so dia tak kena. So the answer is C. More particularly their mothers. So kamu tengok apa kat situ? You look at particularly, terutamanya. Words, next word, their mothers, mak mereka. Sebab ada kaitan dengan parents. Okay, their parents, terutamanya mak. Their parents, terutamanya ayah. So kena yang tu. The only ones, yang orang yang sepatutnya buat kerja rumah. Okay, so you have your answer which is okay. Again guys, it might be very very clear to those who are very proficient in English. But for those who are less proficient, you have to practice. You have to read the text. You have to find the meaning. You have to do this with your friends, with your teachers. InsyaAllah, little by little, you will get it. Kamu akan dapat. Okay, so my students, Sekolah Mengaga Fauzi, sekolah di kampung, rural areas. So most of them got this. Alhamdulillah. But for some who did not manage to get this, they are on the right track. InsyaAllah, they are on the right track. Mereka dalam landasan yang benar. Di laluan yang tepat. Okay, to improve themselves. Right? So So all of you, I believe, can too. Okay, so now sentence. Tengok pula dari segi ayat. Alright, dia buang satu ayat. However, those days are long gone. Hari-hari dulu sebegitu dah lama dah tak ada. Hari-hari apa? Hari-hari di mana ayah kerja, mak tak pergi kerja. Mak buat kerja rumah sahaja. Hari-hari tersebut dah pun lama berlalu. Tengok tanpa ayat di tengah. Without the sentence in the middle. Masih the sentences still make sense. Hari-hari tersebut dah lama dah tak ada, dah lama dah berlalu. But despite this change, many things. Walaupun begitu, masih ada lagi remaja yang rasakan mak ayah mereka kena buat kerja rumah. Nampak? Kena, masih okay. The sentence still make sense. Okay, the sentence still makes sense. Right? But again, you have to find the answer. You don't have a choice. You have to find the correct answers. So don't simply fire on everything. Try, cuba. Apa dia? Look at the words, look at the sentences before and after. Alright. So, kamu tengok kat sini clue dia. Nowadays, sekarang ini. Sekarang. Okay. Hari-hari tersebut dah lama berlalu. Nowadays, sekarang ini. Women have jobs. Ada pekerjaan. Women have successful careers. Alright. Leaving them little time to deal with large number of tasks that her household requires. Untuk buat kerja rumah. Okay, so tu clue dia. Nowadays, sekarang ni. Sekarang ni dah tak macam sekarang ni, perempuan dah ada kerja. Perempuan pun bekerja. Tapi, walaupun perubahan ini, walaupun begitu. Nampak? Kena. Women have jobs. Wanita ada pekerjaan. Tetapi still, teenagers believe that their mothers kena buat kerja rumah. Okay. Women don't have the time because they need to, kita panggil ni, they don't have time to do household chores. Alright? But then, teenagers still believe that mak mereka yang kena buat kerja. Okay, so you can see that. Alright. This one over. You can see that you can find the clues. Kamu boleh cari clue. But, you must at least be prepared to be proficient to understand the text. You have to understand the text to answer the question. Alright, so because this is language, you have to understand the text. You have to understand the language to answer the question in this language. Alright? Okay, so first, what do you need to do? Read the whole text in order to get an overall idea. Kamu kena tahu dulu teks itu tentang apa. Overall idea bukan setakat tentang apa. The tenses yang digunakan. Is it past tense? Is it simple present? Okay, because those are the clues. Itulah clue yang akan membantu. It will help you to find the correct sentence to fill in the gap. Carefully read the sentences before and after each gap. Carefully. To clue dah. Carefully. Please read carefully the sentence before and after each gap, and the given sentences. The 8 given sentences. Read carefully. Alright. Look for clues in both the text and the given sentences. Tadi kita buat tadi lah. Alright, cari clue di dalam dalam petikan tadi, in the text, and in the given sentences dalam ayat-ayat yang diberikan. Alright, pay attention. Ni clue dia. Pay attention to the items, reference item, it, they, this, there. It, kalau contoh sebelum tu ada harimau, and then dalam ayat yang tempat kosong tu ada it. It merujuk pada harimau, logik. Kalau dalam ayat tu ada he merujuk pada harimau, macam tak kena. Okay, pronoun dia tak kena. They, this. Okay, identify what they refer to. Merujuk kepada apa dalam ayat sebelum ataupun ayat selepas. These are the clues actually. For those who are very proficient, maybe you do not realize this, but you are actually doing this. Kamu sebenarnya buat benda ni. Okay. So, as well as sentence linkers, however, furthermore, therefore, however, memberikan maklumat yang berlawanan, furthermore, memberi maklumat tambahan. These are the clues that will help you to find the correct answers. You may not understand everything, but the clues will help you. Okay? Alright. And then remember, the correct option must logically complete the writer's meaning. Kalau writer tu tengah cakap pasal harimau, tapi pilihan jawapan pasal bola sepak EPL, Liverpool tengah menang ke, MC tengah menang, tak kena. For example lah, SPM tak ada ambil tara tu. Please, it must logically complete the writer's meaning and grammatically fit. Tu yang kata tu. Pronoun kena tak kena. The tenses kena tak kena, past or present or simple or future. Alright? Again, it must logically complete, grammatically fit. Okay? Alright. So what to do? You have, of course, you have learned about article. You have learned about pronouns. Alright. Look for words. Okay. Look for the definite articles. Look for the pronouns in the missing sentences that you think will link to things in the text. Ayat yang akan link dengan teks tersebut. Look at the pronouns and definite articles. Then find what those words refer to, merujuk kepada apa. And place the missing sentences in the correct place. Nampak macam renyah, but you need to do this. You need to do this to find the correct answer. Alright, again, what are the articles? Of course, and, the, that, these, those. Alright. Kalau that, singular, this, singular, these, plural, those, plural. Clues, semua ni clue. If in the given sentence, guna the man. Ayat sebelum tu guna a man. So the man refers to a man mentioned in the previous sentence. Benda-benda macam ni. So you have to practice. Kamu tak boleh hanya tahu okay, tahu dah. I will do this during SPM later. No, you have to practice from now. You have to practice from now. Okay? Pronoun, you, they, we, he, she, it. Alright, them as object, for example. Okay, let's look at this one. What do they in sentence A refer to? Sentence A refer to, merujuk kepada apa? Untuk number 1. Tengok sini. They. Tengok ayat sebelum gap. Teenagers should be careful not to make extra work for others. They merujuk kepada apa? Teenagers. Okay, boleh tahu dah jawapan dia. Okay. And then this one. These refer to in sentence E. These refer to. Tengok ayat sebelum ataupun selepas. She hadn't asked them to help because she didn't want to argue with them. Tak nak gaduh dengan mereka. Or because it was faster and simpler. Lebih mudah nak buat. So these are the main reason. These, plural. Ada satu, tak nak gaduh. Lebih cepat, lebih mudah buat sendiri. So these are the main reason. Kena. Tapi kalau dia buat THIS, this is the main reason, tak kenalah kat sini. Tu nak bagi contoh. To give you an example, macam mana nak guna ni. Right? So for the tip, make sure the sentence fits logically, both with what comes before and after. Sebelum dan selepas. Okay, kalau tengok kat sini. Dia sesuai dengan ayat mana? Sesuai dengan ayat sebelum, ayat selepas. So kalau E, for example, okay, look at this text first. Mukhlis had nothing to say to the other guests. He went looking for Afnan. He saw a wide open door. Nampak pintu terbuka. And he stepped inside. Dia masuk ke dalam. Tengok ayat selepas tu. Mana logik? That was the wrong thing to do. Salah tu. Because he should have knocked first. Patut ketuk pintu dulu. And waited for permission to enter. Okay, so far kena. Kalau ayat selepas pula. And seated behind it. Duduk di belakangnya. Belakang apa? Tak ada kat sini. Tak ada kat sini. Behind it, no, it couldn't be a man. A man with a blood-stained shirt. Okay, seorang lelaki dengan baju yang dipenuhi dengan darah. His boss, Amin Najwan. Okay, so ayat selepas does not fit with the with sentence E. Okay, F tak kena dah. Buka pintu masuk, ada kat police station. Okay, tak kena. Boleh juga kena dengan ayat ni. Tapi tak kena dengan ayat selepas. Alright, what about he saw a wide open door and stepped inside, masuk dalam. Alright. And seated behind it, duduk belakangnya. Belakang apa? Tengok ayat selepas tu. Dia masuk ke dalam, it was a fine room. Dia masuk dalam tu, ada apa? It was a fine room. Bilik yang sangat elok with floor to ceiling bookcases. Bookcase yang daripada lantai ke ceiling. A fireplace, leather armchairs and a huge desk. And seated behind it. So, kamu tahu it tu merujuk kepada duduk di belakang meja yang besar tu adalah bos dia, Amin Najwan. So it must fit logically with words or sentences before and after. Don't be too overconfident. Oh, dah dapat dah. Oh, kena dengan ayat ni. Tapi tengok dulu ayat selepas. Before and after. Okay? But this one explain the main idea in the text. For example, this one talking about special football combines playing and technology to generate electricity. Okay, apa yang menerangkan tentang football tersebut? Okay, apa dia? Kat sini nampak. Inside it, di dalamnya. Di dalam apa? Di dalam a special football. Nampak ada kaitan. Okay, kemudian menerangkan pula tentang special football tadi, yang combine tadi. Yang develop oleh the soccer tadi. Untuk generate electricity. Apa ada dalam tu? It captures energy from the rolling and bouncing. Okay, that occurs during football game. So, dapatlah electricity. So, it explain the idea in the text. Okay? Okay, masa dah habis dah. Alright, so now there are other clues that you can find to get the answers. Look at the nouns in the other sentences before and after these, those. Look at the adverbs, the link between link ideas between sentences. For example, however, additionally, secondly. Kalau dalam petikan tu tengah bagi maklumat seterusnya. Probably, additionally, secondly, furthermore, moreover. Alright? Or you may find the vocabulary and make links between sentences with words of similar meanings. Okay, ayat sebelum guna perkataan ni, ayat dalam pilihan jawapan ada sinonim dia. Okay, that could be the link to for you to find the correct answer. Alright, grammar tenses. Tengok tenses, simple present ke, future ke, past ke. Those are important. Alright, and of course definite article. Ayat sebelum guna ayat dalam pilihan jawapan ada guna the. A man, the man. A boy, the boy. Alright, so these are the clues. So what do you need to do with this? You have to practice. Do not practice alone. Find your friends. Do it with your friends. Discuss. Okay, when you discuss, you are trying to consolidate everything and then confirm with your teachers to at least get the correct information and fix them in your mind. Remember, do not do that before SPM. During SPM. Do that before SPM. Okay, so actually there are a lot of practices here you can find in the Moodle, and for part 5 also we do not have enough time. But again, part 5 is actually almost the same as part 1 and part 3. Part 1 and part 3. Sama juga. Okay, scan for specific information. Find the correct answers in the text. Do not choose a text just because the vocabulary of phrasing in the text is similar. Jangan pilih semata-mata ada perkataan dalam jawapan tu di dalam teks. Those are distractors. Jadi those are distractors. So be careful. Alright. So for part 5B, sama juga. Identify specific information. Understand words from the text. Locate the words from the text and fill in the blank. Cumanya for part 3, part 1 ada pilihan jawapan. For part 5B, pilihan jawapan ada. Tapi ada di dalam petikan yang panjang. Right? So, again, try to determine what part of speech it is. If it is as positive or negative or neutral meaning. Alright, what general topic it is related to. Kamu kena tengok semua benda tu. Alright, so for example, this one. Tengok, this one is from your textbook. Cuma saya ubah nama je lah, jadi nama Melayu sikit. Alright, page 131. Alright, 19-year-old singing star Najah Aimi shocked friend yesterday when she, try teka. She said she was giving up her city. Kamu try teka dulu. Okay, and then you try to cari perkataan apa yang berkaitan, yang boleh digunakan sama masuk dengan kata she said. Okay, maybe if you know, kamu kena jumpa announce. Alright, tak ada perkataan said, ambil announce. Because announce means mengumumkan she was giving up her city center apartment. She said she was giving up her city center apartment. You try to guess first. Cuba jawab dulu and then barulah cari jawapan dalam teks. She said her cultural apa meant that she and her parents miss rindu living together in a strong family unit. Probably cultural value, nilai apa pegangan hidup dia, apa yang dia dibesarkan dengan apa yang dia dapat. Okay, makna dia nak duduk bersama-sama dengan keluarganya. She wanted to live together in a strong family unit. Kalau tak jumpa perkataan value, tengok apa yang lebih kurang macam value. Upbringing. For those who know, for those who have the proficiency, yes, kamu tahu upbringing. Lebih kurang sama macam value, similar meaning. Alright, so that's how we try to answer part 5. Alright? Okay. So, wow, that's all from me. Alright, may all of you achieve the best results in your SPM 2021-2022 for all SPM students in Malaysia. So please, I hope the tips given, you can find this PowerPoint presentation in your Moodle. So please, you can also ask, and I believe your teachers have given these tips, similar tips to you. So please remember, practice now before it is too late. You still have 1 month to go. All right. So before I end my session for today, so what do you need to do? Because you are having your Chinese New Year holiday next week. So for students, please, you actually don't have enough holiday because you are focusing on your SPM. So what can you do during the Chinese New Year? You can call your teachers. All right. You can discuss and practice with your partners for speaking, listening. All right. You have the template given by your teachers. Okay. Then you can also group study. Have a group study with your friends. Do not be alone right now. Unless you want to study sometime, you want to study alone, it's okay. But please try to practice, because when you are studying together, you are listening at the same time, you are reading at the same time, you are speaking, you are doing everything at once, and it will help you a lot to consolidate, mengukuhkan, to consolidate what you are learning with your friends. All right, remember, call your teachers, have a group study, practice with your friends. All right, now is the time. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yayasan IMPAK, for giving me the platform, the chance to give what I can, right, to help you for your SPM 2021-2022. Hopefully, it helps you guys. I'm sorry because I have to rush some of the tips for a bit, but don't worry, don't worry. I believe you have adequate support from your friends and your teachers, and of course, your parents. So again, all the best. Hopefully, you all will be successful in your SPM, and of course in your real life later on. That's all from me. I'm sorry if I've done any mistakes. If I have given you maybe some information that are not true, but I think it is valid. All right, that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.